Hi, everybody. This is Robbie, and welcome to Miscellaneous Candor. Frank, honest, and otherwise outspoken. Here on Miscellaneous Candor, we speak about podcasts that we like and listen to. We always are out in the AI streets talking about what's changing. And then you'll get some conversation about personal growth, celebrity gossip, news and history. And for some strange, odd reason, we're on this whole Dianetics kick thing. So, Steven, are you there?
Hi, Robbie. Hello, my friends. It is I, Steven, with a PH Kennedy, board certified atheist, knocking at your door. Shall we talk Dianetics today? Let's see if we have time.
Yes, let's see if we have time. Okay. Oh, I did listen to a new podcast.
Congratulations. That's great to hear.
I know. I don't know how the listeners are going to feel about this podcast, but I did listen to it, and I thought it was pretty interesting, honestly.
What do you got?
So there's this new, it's not really new, but there's this podcast on called On 54. And essentially, it's by these two guys who are both of African descent. One is Nigerian and one, I think, is Ghanaian, if I'm not mistaken. And it's called On 54 because they're talking to people who have African descendancy. And then sometimes they're talking about like how the continent is changing. But the reason why it's called On 54 is because there's 54 countries in Africa.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty interesting because they've been talking to a lot of celebrities. So, I like Boris Kodjoe. I've always liked Boris Kodjoe. You probably don't know who that is. Look him up. And so he's half Ghanaian, half white, and he grew up in Germany. Okay. And he's married to Nicole Ari Parker. He was on this show called Soul Food. He's really super fine. He was a model. Everybody had a crush on him at some point. In my age grade, in my background. Anyway, so I like listening to him, and he's like just really all out there on the Ghana bandwagon. And then they had, I can never say her name, Gabby, something. I can never say her last name, but she was in Precious. She was in Precious. No, she was in Precious.
Oh, okay, not that one. Sorry,
no, she's in Gabrielle Union. No. She is, it's not her. Gabrielle Union is African American, but or American Black, however you want to say it. Anyway, I say that because that's usually what immigrants say when they talk about Black people, American Blacks. We can go into that. That's a thing. But my point is, Gabby's okay. So she was in Precious, right?
Yeah,
and she's really big. Like she even calls herself fat, black, and ugly, but she uses it in a term to explain it. So. One, I just want to, no, don't. This is what I want to say. I knew you were going to say that. Oh my God. I knew you were going to say. No, she didn't. You didn't let me finish. She was calling herself that in the construct of how people see her. And the fact that her build, how she looks, people immediately see her and put her in this case of fat, black, and ugly. But she says, I know I'm dope. I know I'm all that. And the problem is that when people talk to me and then they're around me, they see that, they feel that. And you could even hear it on the podcast. It's a video podcast. I'm going to send you a link so you can see it. But her confidence is like on another level, and it's like legitimate. Like she's not pretending to love herself and think that she's the bomb. She's married to a white guy. He totally holds her down.
Married to a white guy.
Yeah, she is. I'm just saying that because she is. And he holds her down. He loves her to death. They have a strong family unit.
Holds her down, huh? Sounds kinky.
No, that's how she says it.
Oh, okay.
But the way that she talks about him and her and how people, once they interact with her, how their perception changes about her and how they see her as beautiful because of just how her energy is. It's just crazy. And I think it really, if you have an open mind, that's another thing. People gotta have an open mind. like you can't be a racist and watch this, right? So you, if you're a racist and you hate black people, that don't watch this. I'm just gonna put that out there right
Are you saying
now.
watch this episode of this podcast?
This
Is that what you're
episode
saying?
of this podcast, yeah, because it's not going to matter because you're racist and you don't like black people. But if you're not like that and you have an open mind, I think it will challenge the norms that you have about what beauty standards are and what makes somebody beautiful.
Yeah.
And
That's
it
great. That's
really
great.
was very, very interesting. And I ran across it because I was watching Boris because I thought he was fine and I wanted to see what he had to say. And then that episode popped up, and then I watched some of it, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was going to play it, but I don't have my phone with me, and I don't feel like going to get my phone to play it. So,
Okay.
but yeah, anyway, it's called On 54. Do you have any
And your name
questions?
is Gabourey. I don't know. Is it Gabourey? Is that how you pronounce it? Gabourey Sidibé.
Gabby Sitter. Yeah, I can't ever say.
No, but I mean her full
Gabrielle.
name is, or no, it's not Gabrielle. It's Gabourey. Maybe her nickname is Gabby, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, they call her Gabby, and then I can't say her last name. I'm so
Sidibé.
bad. Sidibé. Yeah, I think
But
so.
I hope I'm pronouncing your
I
first
think
name
you're saying
correctly.
it right.
Gabourey.
I don't know
Maybe
how
that
to.
might be how to pronounce it.
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna find
I
out.
hate this too. We need to find out. We should have gotten on the episode and not known how to say it. So
Yeah,
we're
that's
sorry,
bad.
Gabby. I'm gonna apologize right now. That's fucked up. I shouldn't be, being like
You
that.
know,
Okay.
so,
Anyway,
so you know how
hmm,
you're saying. I think her
I can't hear you. What happened? Where'd you
you
go?
can't hear me. You
No,
can't
you
hear me.
like. No, I can't. Something happened to your audio.
You can't hear me right now.
Now I can. There you
Oh,
are.
okay. All right. Great. Sorry. I don't know. Um. So you know, I think Precious
Okay, you're
is
going
her.
away now. What happened?
Oh no. Am I here? Can you hear me?
Barely.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Now, I don't know what you did, but I can hear you, and make sure your connection's plugged in, please.
Yeah, it should be fine. Just you can hear me, right?
Yes, right now. Yes, you
Okay.
sound great.
So what I was saying is, I believe her most famous movie, commercial, type of film was
Was
Precious,
Precious.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh.
But she is my favorite movie of hers. Actually, a different movie. It's called "Come as You Are," and
Uh-huh.
it's this hilarious comedy about. It's about this group of youngsters. One, it's there's like this I forget. I think they meet through this what do you call it? Like a place where disabled people can meet and do activities. One
Mhm.
boy is blind, and he's of Indian descent. Another kid is paralyzed,
Mhm.
neck down, and he's in a wheelchair.
Mhm.
Another kid is deaf.
Okay.
And these three kids they find out they're horny teenagers, okay? And they find out
Okay.
about,
Of course
about
they are.
they find out about a brothel in Montreal that caters towards disabled people. So they go on a road trip.
Of course this is your favorite movie. Oh my
And they
god.
hire Gabby Sidibé, and she's this caregiver, and they
Mhm.
hire her to drive them to this brothel in Montreal from somewhere in the U.S. I can't remember where, but it is the most absurd, funny comedy. But it and then what at the end, the blind guy, he ends up falling in love with Gabby, and they end up in a relationship at the end. But it is just so absurd funny. You gotta watch it. I'm not like you will love it.
What
Now
is it called again?
it's
Repeat it.
called
Repeat it.
Come as You Are.
Come as you are. Is that CUM?
Oh my god, you're so disgusting.
But you
Shame
said
on
they're
you.
going to a brothel. This is
But
we always
it's
say this is
kind of like it's
explicit
actually
content on here.
It's I know it's like it's ridiculous funny, but it's also touching. Like because you see they're really good actors, and they really kind of showed you emotions of someone that's going through their life as a disabled person, what it's like. So you get to really understand their emotions and their frustrations and their angers, and they get angry at each other for this and that, and it's actually insightful too. So
Okay. All right. Okay.
And
We'll
Gab is
we'll
kind of the one that kind of grounds them, puts them in their
grounds
place.
them. Okay.
And yeah, so check
All
it
right.
out.
Well, we will put both of those links up there. But did you listen to anything new this week?
I did.
Okay.
This is
What
an
was it?
interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
It is called what is it called? Oh, the businessman. The businessman. Hold on one second. The businessmen, I believe. But let me check. Um, the businessmen.
Okay.
Um, and it's this is an interesting concept. Okay, so you got two guys. And they're somewhere. Maybe they're British. They have a British type of accent. These two guys, they are starting up their own skincare company. And in order to kind of um, promote this and at the same time get guidance from all sorts of different business people that have been successful and have gone through different process ups and downs in the business world, they get these experienced people in on this podcast and they get guidance on how to launch their skincare product. And it's so when they're getting this guidance about how to launch their own skincare product, it's also at the same time an interview of these people and what they've gone through in the business world. So it's a really interesting concept. So
Mm-hmm.
they're generating their their audience and their brand awareness through this podcast, and we're walking along with them as they learn how to build their business from the ground up. And I think it's great, because if you are starting a business, I thought it's
You have
great to like learn. And they're like really starting without any kind of understanding of how to do all this, right? So they're learning like from the ground up, and it's interesting to for someone that's trying to start a business of their own to listen to this and get their own guidance. And then at the end, maybe well, somewhere in the pod, in each episode, the guests that they have, they ask the guest at some point, um, tell us about your skincare regime. So you hear some interesting story. It becomes kind of comical because some people have um bad hygiene.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Like
that's
there's
pretty
this one
interesting.
guy that this is one guy that said he never washes his face. Um
What?
he says he puts sunblock on when he goes out in the sun because he's like super pale white, but he does not wash his face. And when he's in the shower, he still doesn't wash his face in the shower, but the residual water that hits his body splatters on his face, and that's about it. I mean, how disgusting is that?
What?
It's it's disgusting. And let me tell you, his face looked like it was look bad. Yeah, it was bad.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what?
So
I want to, oh my God, I lost. Oh no, here it is. Where is it? Okay. So, okay. No, keep going. I'm sorry. I just realized
so
that when we talk about the next stuff, I'm gonna have stuff that I want to bring up. That's all. So keep
okay.
going. Okay.
Yeah, so I thought it was an interesting podcast for people to listen to, so they can actually learn alongside these guys how to build a brand, how to build a business. It goes
Mm-hmm.
on to the basics like, how figuring out their logo and very basic things and, what's a creative brief and all that stuff. So, it's helpful for people. And it's also at the same time, a little bit of comedy injected in there, so it's entertaining as well at the same time while you're learning. Um, I'll give it. Let's wait. We can hear your rating for your podcast. What do you give it? 1 out of 10. 10's the highest, the best.
Oh my God. I
Yeah,
never
let's
give
do it.
anything a 10. You know this. I don't,
Yes.
can you hear me? You can
Yeah,
hear me, right? Yeah, I never give anything a 10. So I'd probably say it's between an 8 and a 9. I just don't think
that's
anything
pretty
is a
high.
10. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was. The reason why it was, again, well, of course, Boris was in it because, like I told you, I think Boris. But, but,
Is that? Is that
outside of, What, you never seen him?
No, I haven't.
Okay, look him up. I'm gonna give you his last name. We'll
Oh,
see
I'm guessing it's a
why.
hunk. I'm guessing it's a
Uh,
hottie. Is he a hottie?
absolutely.
Is he a
Um,
hottie or a naughty?
um, no, he said the first. So Boris, and the last name is Kodjoe.
Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, good looking guy.
And you see his wife; she's amazing looking. Um,
What
but
is she?
she's black.
She's white. Okay. No, she's
No,
not.
yes,
She's
she is.
white.
She's black.
She's a
No, she's not. She's just very light skinned. This
okay.
is the thing about our background. People think that, yeah, no, she's not. Click on her. She's
Uh,
just very light skinned.
it's like- she's I mean she's got stuff mixed in. Like she's not like you know.
She's not what? No, say it. Let's have this conversation. Say what? She's
I
not
mean
what?
she's mixed with stuff. I don't know what, but she's mixed with stuff.
Well, first of all of us are mixed with things. Number one.
Yeah.
Um, most of us, at least in the United States, but she identifies as Black American. And I would venture to say to you that both of her that her mom and dad are both Black because of how a lot of this happened.
Yeah,
uh,
genetics. I mean, yeah.
Genetics,
Yeah.
like things will show up in
Yeah.
later generations. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. I didn't
Um
know
but yeah,
though
that's what I
that
was that's
she was
what did you think
older.
I was saying? I mean, I was saying that she doesn't look like a black woman. She looks like she's a mixed woman.
No, I don't think so, because in my family she's Black.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I mean, she can identify. That's fine. I mean, you got to pick
No,
some,
no,
you
no,
know.
no, 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 no. Okay, see, this is the problem with how people think. This is kind of the whole Gabby thing, right? Just because she looks like that doesn't mean that's not who she is. It has to do with a variety of different things. How you define somebody as mixed is dependent. Like you would say that, and you would see her as mixed as saying, well, her mother's probably white and her dad's
No, I
probably
wouldn't. No,
Black.
no, no, because I understand how all genetics work. I mean, I understand that. Yeah, I mean, everyone everywhere is mixed with stuff, right? So I get
Yeah.
how that works. I'm also a biology major, so I studied all this genetics. I'm also very interested in
You
the.
are a biology major?
I was, yes. Um,
Really?
yeah,
This just is coming out for real?
yeah, yeah. This is a whole different topic, though. So we.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I mean, I'm very
I
interested
just
in
realized though
anthropology
that
and
she's
understanding the migrations and the mixing of different nationalities and ethnicities. So, I find that stuff. You know that.
I didn't know. But you know what I just realized by looking at her and him?
Hmm.
She's older than him.
Oh, God forbid.
No, I just didn't know that. I didn't know that she was older than him.
Are you an ageist, Robbie?
No, I think that's actually kind of cool, but I just didn't know that she was older than him. Okay, that's interesting.
Oh, so I did want to ask you. So you
Okay,
said that.
anyway, what were we talking about? What were we
Well,
talking
I
about?
wanted to ask you another question about your podcast. So because I got confused. So the people that are
I'm gonna send
so
you
are
the do you want me to send you the if you look at it, it's called on I'm sorry, 154, not on 54, 154.
okay.
154. If you look at it on
Oh, it's
Instagram right
O
now.
N E. Oh,
No,
O N
one. Yeah, O-N-E
O N
spelled
and
out
then
the
the
word.
digits 5 4.
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay, got
Look
it.
it up.
So this is they interview people that are first generation Americans. Are they first generation Americans? Is that what they are?
I don't know. I don't think there's any. They say if you look at the definition on Instagram, it says celebrating Africa's 54 countries, one story at a time.
Okay.
So I don't think that it's just looking at it from perspective, but everybody on here that I've seen has is either first generation or not even that. Like they're immigrants.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
some are first generation, some are directly immigrants,
Okay.
some
Got
are
it.
mixed immigrants.
Okay.
Some are, the idea is that you can't just put it in a box.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was a pretty interesting podcast, and I was like, oh. But again, I was only watching it because he's cute. That's how I got to
Oh man, you
it.
sound like I do sometimes. Come on.
Well, yeah, I know. I
That's
have to be
bad.
honest about
I'm.
how I sounded on this. I wanted to be real with the
I feel
people.
like I've had a good influence on you. My day is complete, Robbie.
Oh my God, you're so funny.
I feel
Okay,
good
let me
about
see if
myself.
I can play this episode where Gabby talks about being fat. No, I don't think you can hear it. I wonder if I sent it to you and you played it. Where she talks about being fat, black, and ugly. And it's just really pretty deep about what she's. Oh, here it is. Do you want me to send it to you? And
Yeah.
you can play it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to send it to you. And then you can play it. Let's see here. Copy link. I'm going to send it to you in text. But I just think that it just challenges so much. Okay, I just sent it to you. Again, if you're open, but if you know,
Are you talking to me or are you talking to our audience?
I'm talking to audience in terms of if you're open and you want to listen to this, because some people in the audience, may not be open and not want to listen to it,
Why?
so
Why
don't
do you
listen to it.
think that? Why do you think
Because
that?
I think everybody has a right to listen to everything. That's why. Okay, go on.
I mean,
Even
I
if I
feel
disagree
like
with you.
you're okay.
Hmm? Can
Here
you
we go.
please okay,
I'm
play.
playing it. I'm playing it. Here we go.
Okay.
What am I freaking out about? If you're a liar, you think I'm telling
We
you, you
can't
think I'm
hear
worth
you.
something
Can't
more
hear
than
it.
stuck in the phone?
I can't hear it.
You
Doesn't
know,
sound good.
so your internal belief of maybe how you were feeling in that moment gave you a sense of calm
Okay, it's not working.
attracted them.
It sounds bad. I don't know why
Oh,
it sounds
it's coming
bad.
through. All right.
It's not really coming through, no. You must have a bad
Yeah, I don't know what's going on
connection
today.
today.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
what's
because
happening.
usually you have a pretty good connection. You want me to try to play it on my side and let me see?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can play it on my side or not. I'm gonna try it. Okay, let's see if we can go here. All right, I'm going to do this, and I'm gonna do this, and then
What am I freaking out about? Like you're a liar. You think I'm talented? You think I'm worth something more than sucking over the phone?
Wow.
You know?
What is your
So your internal belief of maybe how you were feeling in that moment gave you a sense of calm that attracted them.
Yeah. It's
Why,
freaking the worst.
why didn't you believe what when they were telling me? Because obviously we know now that the world will see how talented you are. Why didn't you believe it in that moment?
Um, you know, when you grow up a girl who is fat and black and everybody else around you is Dominican or Puerto Rican, and you are othered. I was othered in a lot of ways. I was othered against other black people.
Oh, yes.
And when I was in Senegal, I was othered because I was too American. I've never fit in. I've never felt comfortable. And even though like I'm charismatic as bro, people like me for no reason, but you have to get through the initial impression that I can give just people is not great. It's just because people don't like people who they think are ugly. People are not open to people who they think are ugly. I was already like, you have to have a conversation with me in order to like me. But if you can just see me, you're fat, black, ugly, all of these things. And like, here's the thing, I'm fly as shit, and my life will let me down. But like, I'm actually really, really dope. But it's the way the world works. It's the way the world sees beauty. The standard of beauty. None of us can hit it. You know what I mean? Like the universal standard of beauty, I am very far, I'm the antithesis of. And so that's the world I live in. And even now, sometimes, because now, like, it's so weird how, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're so like your skin. You're so amazing. That's because you think I'm worth something because I'm an actor, because you know what I do for a living. because you know what I do for a living, you think,
that's interesting because I'll share this.
Can you hear it?
I had an insecurity, and when it came to dating, because I wasn't like hot shot nothing like that in high school. Yeah, but it wasn't until I started playing sports, and so I can relate to that idea that wait, you're conflicted. Wait, are you really saying that because I'm because I'm famous and Oscar nominated movie, or are you really saying that because you see me? And I guess the question really is like, what is it that you really feel about yourself? As I sit in front of a beautiful woman, I ask you, what do you see? What do you recognize about yourself?
I am so dope. Y'all are having a good time, right?
Hell man, a hell of a time.
Yeah. So like, but like, it's weird. Somebody's gonna be like, she says she's dope too much. She's a narcissist. But like, the thing is, I have some self-awareness. I am dope. I'm a good time. And not only that, I'm a safe person.
Yeah.
I'm safe. I love that people feel safe with me. I am comfortable. I actually have a lot of value that has nothing to do with the way I look. And the way I look is gorgeous. My nigga, don't get it. Don't get it. This dark skin, I can wear any color.
Yeah.
154.
Anyway, isn't that interesting? Like and that was just a little clip, but that conversation, right?
Yeah, she's very charismatic. She's very confident.
Is.
Yeah,
I know. That's what I said. Like it really just stood out to me, and the way that she challenged the norms just in that small conversation. I don't know. It was pretty in depth for the small time that you listen to the clip. So I just been thinking a lot about beauty standards, etc. lately. Okay.
Hey, you know what? It kind of relates to this topic. You know how we were talking about how people identify, and people are mixed descent, and you know how Kamala Harris, her mother is Indian,
Yeah,
and her father,
her father is Jamaican. Yeah.
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 So you know how she kind of identified as a Black woman and kind of tucked the Indian side under the rug, right? And for whatever reason, whether it's politics or whatever, but she doesn't identify as an Indian woman until when she was campaigning around Indian groups. Okay, so Indian people across the board, and rightfully so, they took offense to the fact that she never wanted to identify as being. And she was, actually half and half. One parent's this and one parent's the other.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah.
So Indian people were offended, and I think rightfully so, and I was too, that she kind of didn't want to kind of admit that she was Indian. She wanted to identify with Black people only. And again, it's probably playing the game, right? She's gonna cater to her audience. So it's kind of in general, Indian people were annoyed with that.
Okay, so can we talk about that for a bit?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that was a lot based on how media and social media works, depending on what kind of feed or algorithm that you have. And you know why I say that? The reason why I say that is because I'm just going to say it like this. I know people who live in the area that she lives in.
Okay.
She grew up in a certain part of California, right? And I know people very, very, very close to me who live in that same area. And I can tell you for a fact, she's always identified as both. She's never denied that.
I don't think she's denying it. She just never owned it.
No, she's always owned it. If you knew her in that space, but if you were, because I feel like, and I'm not saying, one, I don't think she was the best candidate for president, and that's independent of how I feel about her as a person. Yeah. I think that she's competent. I think she probably could have been a really good attorney general. She could be a Supreme Court justice. I don't think that she's a good candidate for president. That's just personally. Yes. Yeah, that's my perspective. But what I will say is that if you go back and you look at her local races and you look at her whole story locally, outside of the algorithm that you have in social media,
Mm-hmm.
She has never run away from her Indian mother.
And she's actually
Never.
growing up.
She's
She went to
always
India.
said that. She's always said that. She's
You know,
always identified with both sides very clearly. But I think that for the purposes of how like divided that entire campaign was, that certain Indian people got that message and were offended rightfully by how the message was displayed to them. That's my
well,
perspective, because I have, as I said, I know people very, very close to that area. And for the years that she's been there, she's always been proud of that part of her. In
that's good.
fact, I
That's
will
good to
say
hear.
this, she even sometimes got backlash from Black people in the area for identifying so much
Well,
with that
that's
part of her.
interesting. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, see, she also, and I know she's proud of this. She's talked a lot about when she was a child. She used to go to India, I think, every summer to
Oops,
her.
sorry.
Yeah, she used to go visit India, to her, I don't know, maybe her grandparents in India. I'm not sure where in India, but wherever her mother was from, in India. So that's, yeah. I mean, she's you know, but I do think during campaign for VP and campaign for president, she did kind of put that down below, kind of push
I
it
don't think
down.
so.
And
No, no,
okay,
I don't think so.
okay,
I think that that was the way that the messaging out loud, depending on what you were looking at, was
yeah,
that way. But she has never run away from that in her um local space.
okay, that's good. That's good.
And I think it's interesting though, because I argue that there were some Indian people that were always uncomfortable with the fact that she was Indian and Black.
Interesting. Okay, that's an
Depending upon depending upon the generation they came from. Because
okay.
she talked about how difficult that was for her mom being with
Yeah.
somebody who was Black, Jamaican or
Right,
not,
right, right,
like
right.
what that was in your culture, like what that meant, like that
Yeah.
was like the worst of the worst, right? So, for whatever reason, but it was. But I do think like now I'm actually seeing, like I know a Black woman who's dating an Indian guy.
I think you told me this.
No, recent, like now, like no, I didn't. I was asking. I think we had a episode where I was asking, was that a thing and has that changed? I was asking you that,
Okay.
but I've actually started seeing that more.
Yeah, I mean,
And I
when
thought
you're
that
in the,
was interesting. I think that's more of like current generation than it is older generation,
yeah,
like
I mean,
older than us.
you're in the U.S. Eventually everyone's gonna mix, right? Those differences are going to dissipate, right? So,
But I've never understood except for the um the talk track
yeah,
that Indians have, and I say this to you as an Indian man, the talk track that many Indians have about Black Americans in their mind, not
yeah,
even knowing who they are,
yeah,
that's where the racism comes from,
yeah,
versus actually knowing certain African Americans. Because it's some African Americans who are hardcore and they don't even, like from I think that there's more similarities if you look at Black people who work hard, um, and want to succeed independent of how they're perceived. There's a lot of the same work ethic, mindset, and the drive to be the best. But because that's not what's shown, there's only certain things that are shown like on a vast level that you don't necessarily run into those people. And then you replay that talk track of what you think people are in your head as what they are until
yeah,
you start to get to know and know people on a grander scale,
yeah,
multiple different types of people. Because, Black people are not a monolith. I say that all the time, you know,
yeah,
all the time. Um, And that goes for, whatever political side you are, because we know a lot of black people voted for Trump. We know a lot of black people didn't vote for Trump, right? Because we always talk about this now versus Trump versus non-Trump people, whatever.
Yeah.
Which I think that's a false equivalent too. But because I think people are a little bit more complex than whether you voted for Trump or whether you didn't vote for Trump. But that's my perspective.
And actually, speaking of blending, I personally have two family friends that are Indian individuals that are married to black women, Indian guys that are married to black women. So, like, as time goes on, it's gonna,
Well, I think there's a lot of similarities. I mean, if you really, once you get to know, particularly with Indian men and black women, I think there's a lot of similarities, more so than you may initially believe.
Now, do you think so? What kind of this is something that you
No. I mean, let's go for it. Just say it.
No. Yeah.
No. Say it.
I mean,
we can
talk. Well, we can talk about it next episode.
Okay. All right. I think you were going to say something about college educated versus, yeah. I mean, I think that has a lot to do with it.
No, I was going to say, what was I going to say? Oh no, so this is what I was going to say. I was going to ask you, so do you think it's a specific category of black Americans, because there are so many different categories, right? So
yes, I do. 100%. 100%. Yes. I think that, name it. I think that it's usually, if it's a black woman and an Indian man, it's going to be a black woman who's highly educated, very successful in her career. Even if she's not successful in her career for whatever reasons, wherever stops that happen, the intellectual capacity is going to be very high for her to be with an Indian man. I think it has to be because of what is a part of your culture. But I think there's a misnomer about the part of that type of black person and what that culture is and how education speaks to it, because it's not something that's talked about on a grand scale.
Yeah, because I mean, I can tell you for a fact that I know plenty of Indian people that are dating non-intelligent people of another race, like white or whatever,
Because there's a power status thing that is at play a lot of times. Anyway, okay, so we are at 37 minutes. I know you didn't want to go too far, but I do have to say this. Did you see for AI the letter that was written by the guy from Claude?
Robbie, you beat me to it. And I want to talk
You
about
want to talk about it too?
For the first time, I want to talk about Scott Galloway's assessment. For the first time,
okay, let's talk about it real quick.
Scott Galloway.
Okay, go on. You
No,
start.
you go. No, you can start.
I just wanted to just talk about the fact that the guy who was leading all of the safety protocols for Anthropic resigned last week and wrote this letter. It was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 page resignation letter. But in it, he said that the world was at peril. He didn't give any reason why. And then he was going to go into... go back to the UK, and he was going to disappear into society and start writing poetry. Yeah. Now, I will say this. Because he was the head of safety at Anthropic, I would gather to say he probably has a few $1 million so that he can go to the UK and just disappear in society and become a poet. Because you just can't have a regular job and just disappear.
Poetry about the perils of AI, or poetry about AI, the detriment of AI. That's what it was.
Bottom line, you can't just leave your job if you don't have, like, he has to be wealthy.
Right.
Okay, so what did you want to say?
He basically saying he's going to go out and inform the world about the perils of AI.
That's what you were saying. So what were you going to say about Scott Galloway?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, the U.S. government wants full, complete access to do whatever they want with Claude in terms of weapons development.
That's the end. I shouldn't say it like that and laugh, but go on.
Yeah, so for weapons development and for mass surveillance. And so according to Anthropic's guidelines, it prohibits Claude from being used to create that, to
Mhm.
provide, there are rules around it, based
Yeah.
on the way Anthropic functions. And the government is now just saying, no, we want full access to do whatever we want. And now they are reviewing their agreement, their contract with Anthropic because of this disagreement. So they might go, elsewhere. Um, but yeah, Scott
Well, I
Galloway.
mean, what does Scott Galloway say on this part?
Well, he thinks that I completely agree with everything he said. It's that he thinks AI is being politicized, and he thinks that Anthropic is center left and ChatGPT is more MAGA. Isn't that interesting? And I think, yeah, I agree with him. It's amazing how much this is being politicized, and he says that, even though, um, Claude, maybe even if Anthropic is center left, eventually he believes that all these CEOs of all these AI companies will bow to the pressure of revenues, shareholders, which is true, right? That's going to happen. You see all these companies, regardless of what kind of company, they are sucking on Trump's cock, because when they're public, they've got to answer to their shareholders. They've got it. That's their role, right? So
I think it's interesting that he says that about center left and center right because Sam Altman a few years ago was talking about the perils of AI to
he
the
didn't say.
government
He said
right.
MAGA. That's not right.
MAGA. Well, anyway, I still think that that's
That's far
crazy that
right.
he says that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't believe that. I don't think that Sam Altman is MAGA. Um, I don't. And here's the thing that's so crazy about all of this. If you don't know the story, you would not realize that both of these companies were founded by the same people. So, OpenAI, which owns ChatGPT, was founded by Sam Altman and some other people, including Elon Musk. So let's be clear on that. Elon Musk was a board member of OpenAI and part of the team that created ChatGPT, as was Dominic, who is the current CEO of Anthropic. They all started ChatGPT slash OpenAI together. Then there was a break.
Mm-hmm.
Elon said, this needs to be like a research project, and he didn't want it to be all surveillance. He broke, and then Elon went and did what Elon did, for better for worse. But he did say that he was talking. This when he was talking about the perils of AI. He was talking about it beforehand, and he broke and all that kind of stuff. But then there was a period where ChatGPT. Remember, ChatGPT was the first thing and the only thing out there in terms of a GPT or a AI large language model. It was the first one that we all knew. And then about a year or something later, don't hold me to the timeline because you'll have to look it up. Anthropic Claude was formed by people who left OpenAI because they felt like it was becoming more of a profit center, a business, than and about profit than it was concerned about the safeties and the guardrails around AI. So they created Claude. These are the same people who were part of them. So it's all the same people. So my mind is, while I usually agree with him, I think and he could be right, but I think the idea that one is MAGA and one is center left, I don't think because it's all the same people.
Okay.
I think
All
though
right.
that one has more concerned about safety and, for what it's worth, because we really don't have privacy right now, but however you can create guardrails so that the AI only does what you want it to do and only has access to the information you want it to have access to versus having information access to everything. I think that that's where the line is. And this is my personal opinion based upon how the companies were organized and how they're set up now. And I do think that whenever you're using this stuff, I mean, it's out there, right? But everything is out there now. There is no such thing as privacy. There's
Yeah.
cameras everywhere.
Yeah. Try
No
to get
matter
away with
where
a
you
crime
are.
today. It's
That's
pretty
the
impossible.
thing. Did you see the thing
Unless
Elon?
you're Nancy Guthrie.
Well, even with that, did you see that they went into the Nest camera, even though it wasn't turned
Yeah,
on, they were
yeah,
able to
yeah,
see
yeah,
it, right?
yeah,
So the data's there.
yeah.
It's there whenever you want
So
to
even
pull it
if you
out.
don't subscribe to the that feature of storing data, they are
It's
still keeping it on their
They
end.
are still keeping tabs on. So everything that you do outside of your home and even inside of your home, you is surveilled. So you don't want anything to say. You better turn off your computer, turn it down, turn your phone off, turn all
Yeah,
your things off, and go into a padded room and turn off the lights. Maybe you have some privacy. Maybe.
yeah,
But if you have your window open and your neighbor has a Nest camera that can zoom in,
yeah,
I don't know. Will
yeah,
you have privacy? I mean, it's like everything is out here. Maybe you have privacy when you're going to the bathroom and taking a shower, but that's if you don't have your phone in there with it on.
yeah.
So just saying.
And then Scott was also, preaching the same thing that we've been preaching for, months now, is that there needs to be governmental regulation. And
Yes.
it's like the other thing, like we've been saying, we're
Yes.
saying we need to elect politicians that are 40 and under, people that understand how AI works and understands how to create guardrails.
Even if they're not 40 and under, but if they understand AI and how it works and how to create guardrails. We have so many people in there who are 105 who
Seriously.
need to go and sit down and have no idea. And they're like, ChatGPT, now what is that? Like, no.
I love the fact that you made an impression of Mitch McConnell. Well done. Well played.
I didn't realize that he
I'm
said that. I was
still
just like,
comatose in the hospital, yet still a member of the Senate.
just so crazy. I know there's just all these old people around who are trying to hold on to these positions. And it's true. And they are totally not present. They have no idea what's going on in the real world. They think that the world is up, and they're because they have it looks like my internet is okay, there it is. Because they are still having quote unquote power, but they really don't have the same power that they have, even
Yeah.
though they think they do. Because there's no such thing anymore as closed door whatever.
Yeah.
Unless you don't, as I said, unless you're in like a clean room or whatever, you don't have any phones, you don't have anything. And even that, I mean, haven't Epstein taught us that nothing can be hidden anymore? And we didn't even get to that yet. We got to
Yeah.
go because it's
We gotta
47
go.
minutes and you said you wanted to roll out. So you want to roll
Yeah.
out?
Let's roll out,
Okay.
and we can talk about some other topics next week that
And
we got lined up.
right. Okay, tell the people bye, Steven.
People, it is I, Steven, with a PH, Kennedy. Oh, jeez, man. I can't screw it up. I'm not doing too well today.
That's okay, Steven. Just take us out.
This is because you fluster me, Robbie.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You're fine. Go ahead. Go, go, go.
It is I, Steven, with a PH, Kennedy, board certified atheist. Let's talk Dianetics next time.
Oh my God. People, I'm so glad that we dodged the Dianetics bullet this time. Let's hope we can next time too. All right. Until the next
495-page book, Robbie.
Oh my God. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. See ya.